Hi, I'm Kim with Lisker Ranch. We live in Northern California, and as some of you might know, we did escape the 2018 Paradise wildfire, and I just want to come on and give you some information. You may already know it, you may not. Hopefully it'll be helpful for you. But are you guys prepared? Do you have a go bag? Do you know what to put in your go bag? Do you know what fire zone you're in? Do you have a plan? These are all questions that I didn't even know to ask when the fire took over Paradise. We literally woke up and my friend called and she says, you guys need to get out of Paradise, like right now. There's a fire and it's coming fast. And otherwise we wouldn't have known. It came so fast that we didn't have any alerts set up on our phones. We didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. So if my friend hadn't have called when she did, I don't know what would have happened. We definitely would not. We may have been separated from our grandson, because I literally just put my grandson on the bus and sent him to school, and he was in Ponderosa Elementary, which was literally 5 minutes from our house. And it took me 12 minutes to get there from my house, which, like I said, typically takes about 5 minutes. So I just want to know, are you prepared? Do you know what to pack? Do you know a route to take? I'm going to try and break everything down as simple as I can, make it very understandable, even tell you why some things are important and why some things are not important. So if you can, grab a coffee, grab a Coke, grab a tea, whatever it is that you'd like. Get a pen and paper, or I can make a PDF if anybody's interested. Just drop it in the comments and I will go ahead and I'll make a PDF of a checklist. I do believe I have some resources written down, and I believe that CAL FIRE has a checklist. It's a wildfire evacuation checklist. So I will go ahead and link that in the description of this video. So if you're interested in your hands that you can look at, a lot of people, you know, really want something that they can check off. So there is a list out there that you can check off. And I really want to start by saying thank you for coming in and watching my video. If you find value in this video, please like it, give me a thumbs up, and leave a comment. And if you want to know anything else that I'm not sharing right now, go ahead, leave a comment, ask me a question. I'm good with that, because, you know, I'm not real knowledgeable, but if I don't know it, I'll find it out for you. I will find out for you. Okay, so let's just see how prepared you are. So do you know your risk and your surroundings? I'm looking at a thing here because I don't know. I just don't have a great memory. And there's so many important things that you need to know and have available for yourself. I don't want to take a chance on missing out on anything, so I've got me a little paper here. Oh, excuse me. Ugh, I got a scratchy throat. Gotta have the coffee. It's pizza coffee too, so it's really strong. I need it, even though it's like, what? It's 3 o'clock. Ha! There's a little puppy looking at me on the screen over here. Excuse me, and thank you for your patience. So check for your evacuation zone. Now there's evacuation zones pretty much all over Northern California. My bonus children do live in Southern California and they have kids. And so that was really worrisome for when the Palisades fire was going on, and the only place you really could get any information was on Facebook. And some of the information wasn't great, or it was skewed, or, you know, it is what it is. You gotta, you know, you gotta get information where you get information. Now, I have found that when other fires are going on in this area, because we moved in, and the same year we moved into this house here in Oroville, we were evacuated 4 times. We had 4 evacuations. It's like, what were we thinking moving back into, a rural area? In my defense, Paradise is really not a rural area, because we were right outside of the town limits. I mean, literally, I could see the town limits from our front door. So, in Southern California, they did not have evacuation zones. They had to create them on the fly. So they weren't prepared for this fire either. And apparently, the fire hydrants were dry or clogged, or I'm not real sure. I never got the straight of that. I just was very upset that the kids were down there and I was up here and we couldn't even get down there to them. Check for your evacuation zones. I'm going to leave some resources for at least Northern California where I'm at. You'll have to maybe check with, if you are in California, check with the fire department to find out if they don't have the information, what your zone is, find out what it is and have it, because I don't know. When I am emotional, like right now I'm a little bit emotional because this is really dear to my heart and I worry about people not knowing what to do and things like that. I can't remember anything. So what I do, I have a sheet out on my refrigerator with our zone in it. And then I have also plotted out like 3 different ways that we can get out of our home, get off of our property. Excuse me. And then we also have decided we're taking 1 vehicle. The last time we took 2 vehicles, we had to abandon our second vehicle. There's too much traffic. We were too afraid of getting separated, and that's even worse than just being, I'd just rather lose the car. And so we thought we were careful. Well, I thought I was careful. I thought I was being wise because I parked it out. Excuse me again. I'm so sorry. Sorry. I parked it in a church parking lot where, away from all of the trees, away from the building, kind of put it out where it was out of the way. Like if a fire truck needed to get into the building, I made sure that my car was parked out of the way. And then I made sure that there wasn't a lot of trees around it, and it was in a blacktop area. So a power line fell on my car. A power line. I guess, it just wasn't meant to be. That car wasn't meant to be. And we took everything out of it, because we just had pictures, albums, and things like that in totes, which I always kept my pictures in totes. I don't even know why, I just did, but it was really handy. It came in handy. We were able to put them in the back of the truck. And then that way if any embers fell on it, it gave me extra time to get out there and put the embers out that was on the box or the totes, because they're plastic. They will melt, but I just feel like they're more fire safe. So, okay, back to the checklist here. So, even look around for your local wildfire history and the risk areas. Note any canyon slopes or brush nearby, because fire will travel uphill, believe it or not. It just kind of like a vacuum sucks it right up that hill. And so if you live on a hill, make sure that you go down there, even if you've got to throw, like, I don't know, weed killer or something, and figure out how to get all those weeds out from down there. Or put a sprinkler. If you have a well, you're gonna have to prepare, some way to have power to the well in order to have a sprinkler. But just try and stay safe. Keep, like 100 feet around your house. If you can, because some places don't have, some homes don't have 100 feet that they can clear, because they're really close to the neighbor, things like that. But really keep your roof clear, keep your gutters clear. if you can, there are these little wire mesh, I forget whether they're like a vent cover, like because all the houses have vents for air to get into the attic. So if you get these really small vents, it won't allow the ash to get sucked in there or go in there. A lot of the fires started by the hot ashes that are going around, and if one gets through your vent, it could start in your attic, it could start on your roof. If, like I said, if you can get some, I'll go over more things because right now I'm really scattered and I don't even know what I'm just bouncing everywhere. Hopefully people can keep up with me, even though I have a paper down here that shouldn't allow me to bounce around everywhere, but here we are. So yeah, just look up your wildfire history and look at the risk areas and just take notes around your house. What is at risk? Is there a lot of trees around your house? If there's trees over top of your house, be sure to keep the limbs trimmed up. Let's see. So maybe you even have a neighbor that isn't able to get out there and trim up their area or do weed eating or something. If you have like a couple of hours, go over and help them out. I think I talked about this earlier, but map out at least 3 evacuation routes and decide which car you'll take. Keep gas in all of the cars. It doesn't matter which one you take, but keep gas in all of them. And then the cars that has the best insurance, leave that sucker behind. But you can take precautions too, just in case. These are just in case scenarios, just in case the worst happens. So basically just find a gravel area away from any trees and power lines, and that's where you want to kind of park your cars, or even if you have, say you have quads or dirt bikes, don't leave them in the buildings that they're in. If you have them housed in sheds or whatever, just don't leave them there. Take them out to an open area and park them there, and make sure, like I said, make sure there's no trees around there. Just do your best, because sometimes you can't avoid it. Maybe you can park them, I don't know if you really want to park them in the middle of your driveway, because if the fire department needs to come into your property, chances are they're going to run over those. They're just going to mow them down, so just try and find a safe area for them, away from debris and things like that, burnable things. Practice driving your route. Whichever one you map out. If you map out 3 of them, practice driving it, practice walking it, if you can, if it's possible. If you have children, make sure that they know your plan. If you can print out a map or information, emergency phone numbers, put that in your kids' backpack before they go to school. You don't know. You just don't know what's going to happen, and you want to be prepared for every scenario. So, be prepared. So, print out your maps and store them in a go bag, and store the maps in your vehicle, because if you are away from your house and your house it's in an evacuation zone, they're not going to allow you back in. Whether you have pets or not, they're not going to allow you back in that area. And another good thing would be to try and find a neighbor that would go over and let your pets out. Just, I would rather have my pets loose. And if you have livestock, have them open the gates. I know that there's many people that tried to get back to the Paradise area that had pets, and they didn't have, they weren't prepared. We weren't prepared. That's just plain and simple the way it was, and if you were prepared, that's amazing, because you probably saved lives. You saved your pets' lives, so that's pretty amazing. But that's what I would say to do. And then I would like to talk a little bit about what I wish I would have done differently. I sent my grandson, we saw the fire. Put my grandson on that bus and sent him to school. And I really wish I hadn't have. My gut told me not to. My gut was just told me just to keep him right there, but I didn't. I sent him, and the bus driver was like, "Oh, it's way over in Polda. It's like 75 miles from here, so they're gonna have it out in no time." My gut was like, you know. And then by the time he no longer made it to school, the school never called and said, "Come get him." They never called me. So I just saw what was going on, and my friend called from Texas. She was visiting her daughter in Texas, and her husband was still in Paradise, and he didn't drive. We couldn't even get to him. The roads were so congested. But as soon as she said, "Go get your grandson from school," that's what I did. I was on my way there. And then I had a friend that lived right down the road from us too, and she had two boys. There was 3 boys altogether that we had, and in the car coming home. So the secretary did not want to let me have her kids. There was a highway patrol right outside. There was chunks of flames, like literally it felt like chunks of flames falling from the sky. And they did not want me to get these children and take them to their mother. I had to call her, and thank God her phone was working. Because if not, I probably would have been arrested. I would have just grabbed those kids and left. I didn't want to see them get on a bus. They had a bus there, and they were loading kids up. I don't know if they called parents. You know, I don't know what their protocol was. I do know that there is a movie coming out about one bus driver, and I'm wondering if that was that bus driver that I saw that was sitting in front of the school and kids were loading onto it. I think his name was Kevin, and it's I think the movie is called The Lost Bus. If I'm not sure. I think it's on Apple TV or it's coming out on Apple TV. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to look that up. But I've been on here for about 18 minutes or 19 minutes, and I don't want to take too much time. I just kind of rattled off some things, but I want to get more in detail on my next video, which will be coming out in about a week. I want to make another video, and I want it to be more put together. This one is just kind of scrambled because that's how my brain works. And thank you if you made it this far with me. Thank you for listening. And if you have any questions, you want me to address anything, drop your comments. And if you like the video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a great day, guys. Bye.